Okay, so we should be live, hopefully. Let's just check a few things, just make sure it's all working. Aha! Look at that, let's just mute this. Right, we are live, so let me just quickly share this. Cool. Copy. Oops. Just so we get as many people in there as possible. Right. Get involved. Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me alright. So let me know in the chat if you can't. Fingers crossed you can. So just let me know, please and thank you, just in the chat, just to make sure. Because I don't want to start trying to talk about a load of stuff and nobody can actually hear me. Oh, hi Rebecca. So, can you hear me alright? Just make sure before we actually start, before we get going. You can see me, okay. Can you hear me though? Oh, hi Chris, hi Charlie. How are we doing, everybody? Cool, perfect, that's what I like to hear. Hello everybody, brilliant. That is good, so we've got some people coming in, which is good to see. We'll give it a couple minutes until, just to make sure we get as many people in here as possible before we definitely make a start. So, you know, everything's good, that's all working, so that's a good start. So, considering this is our first ever webinar we've ever done as a company, so it's good that we are all live and working. Perfect. Okay. Oh, there's Kim. Right. Okay, just give it another minute just to see how we're doing. So hopefully, just make sure it's gone out on Facebook and everything, so everyone can see what we're doing. Fingers crossed. Right. It's gone out there. Not that one. Okay, let's just close that. Are you all working? Is the question. Yeah, right, so let's just share that. Oops. Then we can get cracking. Let's share. Cool, alright then. Well, we may as well make a start. Martin. Hello everybody, so welcome to our first ever webinar. So today we're just going to be, as it says on the screen, business support webinar, so we're just going to go through and talk about various ways that we can help businesses, what grants are available, what the government is currently trying to do, and basically just try and get as much updates for you as possible live, and also then you can ask questions at the end, so I can try and answer as many queries as you might have. I might not have all the answers currently because the answers for a lot of stuff unfortunately isn't actually available. So, but as soon as we will, like as soon as we've got that information, so we will let you know. We'll get that out. So, right, if we just move on then. So, as I said, yeah. So, purpose of today, just get as much information across to you as we can. And also frequency, so if this goes well and you guys think it was worth it, then we might look at trying to run these regularly, or after big updates from the government, or just, you know, whatever is best for you guys and what's best for us. So today we're going to go across some business information updates from us about what we're doing and how we're working currently. Go through some cash management and forecasting, so basically talk about what we can do and how we can help to forecast your cash flows at the moment, because I'm assuming a lot of you don't have any income currently, but you will have a lot of outgoings, so we will go through how we can help you with that. What government funding is available? There's various different things at the moment. Obviously quite a lot was announced last night, so we will be going through all of that as well. I'll also go through what support we're going to be giving you, and ongoing, and obviously every day. And then, as I said at the end, we will do some questions and answers, okay? So, start off with then, business information updates. So, we are currently trying to do daily updates. So, hopefully you are getting our emails. So, as I said, there's regular emails. If you're not getting those emails, please check your junk, because all of our clients should be getting them, but if you're not, check your junk or drop us an email, and then we can then make sure you're on that list. Or alternatively, if you are getting them but they're going to the wrong place, or you want someone else added to them, so if it's only going to one director and you want both directors to get it or anything like that, then just let us know and we'll make sure we get you added to that. So on those daily updates, we're just trying to get as much info as what we know out to you guys. Also, make sure you follow us on social media, because I don't know if some of you would have seen, like last night when the Chancellor was speaking, we were frantically posting on Facebook and Twitter everything that he was saying, basically quick snippets, just to try and get that information out there straight away. So make sure you follow us on there, and also that's where we'll be posting a lot about if we're going to do another webinar or not. Website, we do have now a brand new page on the website, www.reevesandco.co.uk/coronavirus. On there is all sorts of updates, so we're trying to keep that up to date with the grants, everything links to the government website, because I'm not trying not to just copy and paste everything, because obviously it's already out there, so all you have to do is just follow those links and they will take you there. But also it's got some information about us, what we're doing and all this. And as I said earlier, weekly webinars potentially. We'll see how they go, if people would want them or if they think it would be useful. So basically that is that. So right, cash management and forecasting then. So this is something that you're going to have to really start to look at now as income does start to dry up, which is definitely something we can help you with. So review your expenditures at the moment. So have a look at what you're paying for each month and think, do we still need that currently? So I don't know, you're currently paying for an Adobe subscription, so you've got like your Photoshop and all that sort of stuff in there because you use that for marketing. But think, currently, are you going to be doing any marketing? Answer's probably no, it might not be. But I think, right, okay, can you cancel that for the time being and move? So then you have to pay out on that one. So just basically go through all of your expenditure, and as I said, we could help you look through this and try and think what you don't need right now to be paying for, and just try and see what you can cut out. Review payment terms. So you might have payment terms with a supplier, so they might be, I don't know, 7, 14, 21, 30 days or even a couple of months. Look at what those terms are with your suppliers and try and put them right to the end of those terms. So maybe you normally pay early because you like to just get it done. Right now you need to look at your cash flow and make sure you then use those terms fully, and even try and contact those suppliers and talk to them. So you've bought some materials, you normally pay each 30 days, say, right, we haven't been paid yet for the jobs for those materials, is there any way we can delay payment, or come up with a payment plan or anything like that? Which brings on to the payment holidays. So again, contact your suppliers and all that, see if you can get a payment holiday, see if they can accommodate it, because you've got to remember also they are also in the same boat, so they probably won't be getting a lot of income but the same expenditures. But just sort of see if you can get payment holidays. So obviously, like there's the mortgage holidays at the moment, they're offering them for 3 months. Try and see what you can do with that. A lot of suppliers at the moment will be open to negotiation because they would rather get something in, I'm sure, rather than nothing. So they do need to obviously get that payment in and defer payments if you can. But if you're going to defer payments, talk to those people. I really stress, please talk to all those people first, because just a bit of common courtesy, just say, look, I'm really sorry, but I don't think I can pay this now because it's just dried up. They will be much more open to talking to you and negotiating about these if you've actually talked to them first, rather than you just saying, right, okay, I'm going to cancel this direct debit, that direct debit, done, cool, I won't pay it. Then they'll probably be a bit more angry, actually try and chase you and get that money from you. So just contact them basically. So then cash flow forecasting. So this is currently something that I am trying to get in place. So there's a few different options we've got for this. So I'm putting together a spreadsheet, nice and simple, that we can help you fill in and obviously send across to you, which you will be able to put in. You can adjust your income and then put in all of your expenditures, and then it will give you some forecasts of what cash you're going to have in, have out, and all this sort of stuff, which will really, really help you to forecast in the future, right, okay, this is my bank balance today, there's no income coming in this day, but all of these are going out, so the bank balance should be X amount. So it will just give you some, some insight into where it's all going to go in the future. The other solution we've got, and that again I'm trying to put in at the moment, is Fluidly. It's a third-party app that links with QuickBooks Online. So obviously only the people that have got QuickBooks Online will be able to use that, hence why I'm also doing the Excel spreadsheet. But what we are doing, we are able to give Fluidly free to all of our clients, so which will help you guys fantastically. And again, it works the same sort of way, but it pulls in all your historic data into the app, and then from there it will use its AI and all its magic, and it will basically predict what it thinks is going to happen. But obviously it will need some tweaking, because it will predict you're going to be getting that monthly income in like you normally would. But it's easy to change, easy to do a few bits to it, and then it will just help you do all that. And also in there it's got VAT reminders, so you can add in when your VAT's going to be, so you think, right, obviously we can defer that, but I'm just saying it will remind you of this, and it's just an absolutely fantastic tool. We use it in-house to help us, but as I say, we can give this to you free. With Fluidly it gives you 3 months of cash flow forecasting. Basically you can then upgrade to the pro version, but if you want to do that, contact me. But obviously it's another cost for you if you wanted to do that, because it then costs us. So, but otherwise we can give you that free. It's not quite ready yet, because obviously we're quite flat out at the moment, but as soon as it's ready I will be contacting people, so you can download the spreadsheet, or I'll be giving you access to the app, or if you don't want to use the app, or you just want to use the spreadsheet, either way I will be getting in contact, so you can actually then be using that and getting some more solid information so that you know what's going on. Okay, right, so moving on. So we've got government options currently with like payments and all this sort of stuff, and what they are offering to help businesses and obviously the self-employed. There's a few different things before we get on to the main thing of the grants. There's the business rates holiday for retail, hospitality and leisure. So basically that means for the next 12 months you will be rebilled by your local authority, and they should contact you about this, but you'll be given a holiday for your business rates, because that is currently still the biggest, well, was the biggest sector that was hit at the start. So you will be getting that business rates holiday, but as I say, that your local authority, whoever that is, Portsmouth City Council, Chichester Council, I don't know, having any council that might be your local one, they should contact you about this, and it should be automatic. There's the HMRC time to pay scheme. So basically that is for your PAYE, your corporation tax, or not your VAT, because they've changed that now. So I think that's the main two there. And basically what that is you can phone HMRC, and you can easier now, because it didn't used to be that easy, you can now easily get some time to pay, hence the name, all of your outstanding debts. So basically it's not a deferral, so it's not like some of the other ones that's deferred for a year. It's a payment plan, basically what they put in place. They do it on a case-by-case basis, so we can't unfortunately phone for you or talk to HMRC, or it's not automatic. If you want time to pay, you need to contact them. There is a phone number, it's on our website, it's been on a lot of the emails, but I can post that later on, unless any of our staff, employees who are also in the chat fancy trying to find that, and just put that phone number there for me, that'd be brilliant. So that is what they're trying to do there, just to help you spread those costs so you don't get one big hit straight away. That payment deferral, so this one is an actual deferral. So with this one, if your VAT payment is due in between March and June, then you do not have to pay it until the end of the 2020-21 tax year. So basically next April, not next April, well, the following April, however you look at it, April 2021, that's when you don't have to pay it to. This one is automatic, so if your VAT becomes due in this quarter, then you do not have to pay it. There will be no penalties, no interest, and you do not have to apply. That doesn't mean you don't have to submit your VAT returns though. Your VAT returns still need to be submitted, and if you do not submit them, you will still be fined in the same way that you would have been previously. Especially now with MTD, the soft landing period is ending at the end of this month. So as of April, if you don't submit properly via MTD, then you will be fined. But obviously, we're dealing with all the MTD stuff, so you do not have to worry about any of that. But just make sure, still get your VAT stuff to us. Try and get all that. It's just the payment. Next one is the deferral of self-assessment payments. So basically, any self-assessment payments that were due in July 2020, you don't have to pay. Again, it's the same. You just have to pay it basically in January 2021 when you would be paying your next lot of self-assessment tax. Again, that's just to try and help all the self-employed or self-assessment people to just spread their costs. So if you can afford it in July and you would rather not defer it, you obviously can still pay it. But it's the same with the VAT payment deferral. You can still pay these if you think, you know what, I'd rather just get it done, and you can afford to. By all means, please do. But you can defer them all. And again, with the self-assessment one, it is automatic, and there will be no fines, interest, or penalties, or anything like that. So if they do try and fine you, which is HMRC, they might, who knows, let us know, and then we can get on that and just say, look, what you're doing, basically. So just let us know. SSP, so SSP, there's two lots of SSP now. So you've got the self-employed SSP and also the employment SSP. So for anybody that is self-isolating who is on a payroll, the first 2 weeks of that isolation you can claim back from the government, the full SSP from day one. Okay, so it's £90 a week, roughly. So you can claim that full amount back. Now you don't have to pay it yourselves, and as I said, it's claimable from day one. There's also SSP for the self-employed, which you apply for through the universal credit system. It's a little bit less than the normal one, and it's not great, but it is better than nothing. But as I say, yeah, that one's done through universal credits. And then grants. So there's lots of grants that are flying around at the moment from the government, and they're a bit confusing. They're not that obvious on some of them. It's not clear on who can and who can't claim on some things. And yeah, there's no small print except for the 80% wages grant now, the job retention scheme. That one is now been clarified a bit more, which hopefully you would have got my email about earlier on. Again, if you didn't, let us know and we can go from there. So I will move straight on to the grants then. So government grants, as I just said, coronavirus job retention scheme. So this grant has been designed to keep employees employed, basically, because there was obviously a lot of issues around the fact of employers can't afford to pay their employees anymore because they're not getting any income. So they were just going to be laid off or just not been paid, which obviously would have not been good to have a spike in unemployment for anybody. So they've brought this job retention scheme out to try and make sure that everybody is still employed. So the way this one works, then, it's relatively simple-ish, I guess. So as hopefully you would have seen also from my emails, to be eligible for this, the employee has to be on a PAYE scheme on payroll, so which we are most likely running. If we're not, then we can still help you with this, but just contact us, we can help you. But you need to furlough your employees. That's pretty certain that's how you set. So what does that mean? So basically that means your employees will no longer be working for you, but they're still on the payroll. So you need to designate them as furloughed, and you need to write to your employees and get them to agree to it, because it's a change of contract, and you can't just change contracts unless your current contract says you can, which is quite unlikely. So you need to make sure you get an agreement with your employees to be furloughed. So there's various ways this is going to be working. So it's, if they are a salaried employee, you can claim 80% of their wages back from the government. Okay, so let me just get this up on my other screen as well. So basically, once the portal is going to be open, which they're hoping now by the end of April, we will log on for you, and we will be able to make these claims for the 80% of furloughed employees. So you only have to pay 80%. You're not legally obliged to top it up to 20%, but if you want to, you can. So they still get paid the same amount, but you just claim that 80% back. The 80% is capped at £2,500 per employee per month, so not obviously over the whole thing. And initially, the scheme can be open for 3 months. In my email I sent earlier on this morning, I clarified how you're going to claim and how you work out what you're going to pay. So hopefully you've had a chance to read that, but I will go over a few snippets now just on that one. So if your employee is on unpaid leave, they cannot be furloughed unless this was after the 28th of February because of COVID-19. So if they've been on unpaid leave since January for any reason, you cannot now furlough them, just because they're trying obviously to not have people just rip the system apart pretty much. If your employee is on SSP, so the SSP will stay as normal if they are just off, say, I don't know, a broken arm or something. If they're off for normal, that will carry on until that SSP runs out. Once that SSP runs out, you can then furlough that employee. So, but you just need to keep that separate. If your employee has decided to self-isolate and they're getting the 2 weeks SSP, that again carries on, but once that ends, you can then furlough that employee the same as that one. And also, if your employee is, so they are off for health reasons because they've been advised to stay at home for 12 weeks by a health professional, they can also be they can also be furloughed. So 2 seconds. Okay, so So the furloughing is quite simple, but if you are really confused about it, ask me at the end and we can go through in more detail about it. But most employees can be furloughed. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, what about directors? And that is a question I am also asking, what about directors? So you would have seen in my emails, you can't really furlough a director because they still need to work technically, because they are the office holder. They still need to approve VAT returns, the payroll that we're going to be running. They need to contact us about all of this stuff. But also, if they're furloughed, who then decides they're not furloughed because no one's working and they can't work to unfurlough themselves? So there's a lot of confusion around that one at the moment. And also, we'll move on to this in a bit, but with the self-employment, it has been confirmed directors are excluded from the self-employment income support scheme. So, but there has been unconfirmed reports that directors can apply for the coronavirus job retention scheme and the 8% for your wages, but it's not clear how that's going to work because they are saying about, obviously, it's you have to be furloughed. So we're just trying to figure out how that one works, really. So the other thing, so if your employee has more than one job, doesn't matter, you can still furlough them. They'll just get furloughed on the other job and you can still claim for this one because it's completely separate and both companies can then apply for the scheme separately. So big thing is, whilst they're furloughed, they cannot work for you. They cannot do any work that helps you get income, services or any of that. It just cannot happen. But if obviously your employee decides they want to go volunteer, well, there's a lot of people volunteering now to NHS and all this other stuff, which is absolutely fantastic. That is fine. You are allowed to do that. That does not affect their furloughed status, and you can still claim that 80% for them, which I think is fantastic. So at the start, we were a bit unsure, but it has now been confirmed. When they are on furloughed, for a few employees, it may mean that their wages go below the national minimum wage or the living wage. If they're furloughed and they're receiving an 8% grant, that is again fine. That is allowable on this scheme. It's just to try and keep people employed. And as they're not working, they've decided that is fine. However, if they do work, you need to keep up with the minimum wage, which is going up. So if they are doing any training whilst they're furloughed, or like online training, anything like that, they have to be paid for it. They have to be paid at least minimum wage. Really, they shouldn't be doing that because they're furloughed. But the other things about furloughed, maternity pay carries on as normal. You do not have to furlough anybody that is on maternity leave, or paternity pay, so maternity and maternity. So obviously paternity normally lasts 2 weeks, so after that ended, furlough them, they can go off unless obviously you need them back at work. So that doesn't actually change there, okay? The minimum time you can furlough an employee is 3 weeks. Okay, so they have to be furloughed for 3 weeks. So that is how that one works, okay? So obviously there's loads and loads and loads I could sit here and talk about for this grant. That's pretty much the main bits of what that is there. To work out actually how you'll get paid, how you claim that 8% and what you pay, we'll help you with that. If we run your payroll, we'll be doing all that for you anyway. It will be shown as they get paid 100% at the top, then we'll be taking off 20% basically, and then that comes down to their actual pay that they're going to be getting. PAYE, NICs, tax, all that, so that is all still due, that is all still taken as normal. And this coronavirus job retention scheme grant that you are getting is also taxable income, so it will have to be shown on your profit and loss when you receive that. Okay, so actually I'll quickly mention about how it's worked for the employees. So they're salaried workers, part-time, full-time, it's just going to be 8% of their salary, standard salary, not including bonuses or commissions. For part-time hourly workers or irregular worker hours, so it all varies, then it's going to be an average basically, which I did detail out in that email earlier, over the last 12 months prior to your claim. But again, they have to be on your payroll in like February. They can't be, if anybody's joined your payroll in March, then you cannot claim for them. It has to be from before the 28th of February 2020. Okay. I think then that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that, unless there's anything else. Obviously I'll answer all the questions at the end, but get them in there. The guys are going to send them over to me and we can go from there really. As I said, we're going to help you with the claims when the portal comes live, so there's no need to worry there. Okay. Right. Next then, small business grant. So this one is available for companies that get relief on their small business rates, so small business rate relief. It's up to 10 grand. So, but your rateable value has to be under £15,000 for the premises you're in, which if you're getting a small business relief, then it most likely is. So this small business grant is for any sector, it's not just retail, hospitality and leisure. So you can get up to 10 grand for that one, but you don't apply for it. Your local authority, your local council, they will contact you and tell you if you are eligible for it. But if you don't pay rent or you've got small business rate relief, then you are most likely eligible. So they've said that they are most likely going to be getting the funding. Sorry, they're most likely going to get the funding in the first week of April. So as soon as your local authority gets that funding, they will then probably start contacting you. You'll probably have to fill out a quick form, send it back, and then they will be paying it straight to your bank account, which is your UK bank account, as soon as it's available. That is expected to be first week in April. And you've got the cash grant for retail, hospitality and leisure, which again is based around the rates, so it's around this £25,000, that one, but you have to have rateable value of between £15,000 and £51,000. If it is less than that, then you're eligible for the small business grant. If it's more than that, unfortunately there's no grant there on that one. But again, same as a small business grant, they will contact you as soon as they know, and once they've got that funding, and then they will go through all of that with you. Okay. Next then, SSP rebate, as I mentioned earlier, those first 2 weeks you can claim. It's not up and running yet, so you have to pay it. Same with the job retention scheme, because it's not running, you have to pay out to then reimburse it later on. But once they are available, you'll get like a lump sum basically. So most of these are being backdated to the 1st of March. So if you have employees that are on either of these two schemes, then once it comes available in end of April, then they will just backdate it 2 months and you'll get that in one lump sum. Okay. And then there's the self-employment income support scheme, which was announced last night, which was quite exciting. It might be sad, but I was actually quite excited about it. So that one, there's still a little bit of unsure. Not a lot of information around it. There is some, obviously, and I have emailed people out today about how they'll be affected. But it's similar to the coronavirus job retention scheme. It's based on 80% of your average net profit over the last 3 tax years. So it'd be your 18, 19, 17, 18, no, last 3 tax years. Can't bother doing my head. Basically, that's what it's going to be based on, your net profit for those years. But if you're only, say, in self-assessment for 2 years, it'll just be based on 2 years, and so on and so on. So if you've only got 1 year, it'll be based on that. But it's your net profit, so not your income, net profit. So if you have to have submitted a tax return for the 18-19 tax year. Okay, so that's the one that ended last April, which should have been done by January. If you did not submit one and you're new to the self-assessment on this tax year, then unfortunately currently you are not eligible for this scheme, because they're saying it has to be 18-19, sorry. But obviously if that changes, because the tax year is about to end, they might say if you get your 19-21 in, they might say, right, we're going to give you this support, but we don't know. At some point we will know. Hopefully they will let us know. But with that then, so it's based on your profits, as long as they're under £50,000. If your profit is more than £50,000, then you're not eligible for this scheme, unfortunately. HMRC are going to be contacting you about this one in June. So they're hoping early June that this one will be coming in. So it's because there's a few reasons why it's June. One, they've got to build a brand new system and finish working it out, get all those fine details in there. And also they've given everybody from yesterday 4 weeks to submit their 18-19 tax return if they haven't already. Various people think various things about that. I'm not going to give my opinion on it. So anybody that was late and hasn't submitted their tax return yet for the 18-19 tax year can do that now, so they can still be eligible for this scheme. So that's why it's back in June. But then in June, HMRC, once they've collected all their information about you, they will contact you. You do not have to contact them, okay, because they know everything, what you've got, they know your earnings and all this. So they are going to contact you. Again, you'll have to fill in a form, you'll send it back, and then if they feel you're eligible, they will then pay you direct to a UK bank account. And again, that's going to be backdated to March. So in theory, in June, you could potentially get in 3 months pay in one, or a lump sum, or potentially 2 months, depends when in June it is available. So that's how that one's going to work on the self-employment. They have confirmed the self-employment one, as I think I mentioned earlier, doesn't include directors, but that should hopefully be covered on the coronavirus job retention scheme. But as I said, we're still waiting for confirmation on that. But as soon as we know, we will let you know. Not sure what they're going to announce today, what, if anything, because obviously Boris is now himself got coronavirus, so we'll have to see what their plans are over the next few days on how they're going to announce anything else. I think that's pretty much everything we've got currently for this one. But actually one question is so the self-employed, you can still be trading for this one because you can't be furloughed. So you can be self-employed and still trading to receive this 80%, but you need, one of the conditions is you are trading, or would be if it wasn't for COVID-19. So if you are still fully trading, you may still be able to get it, but I think HMRC will decide that at the time of your application. You need to be trading or planning on continuing to trade in the 2021 tax year as well, because otherwise you could just take this grant and go, see you later. So it's the same, this one also covers partnerships. So if you are in a partnership, you're covered by the Self-Employment Income Support Scheme. And from what I'm reading and what I'm looking at, I'm thinking it's per person in the partnership, not the partnership as a whole. So hopefully we'll get that a bit more soon. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything I've got for that one at the moment. Again, it is also capped at £2,500. and again it is also taxable. It's a taxable income, so it will show on your 2020-21 tax return as income. It's not tax free, unfortunately. So let's just, I think that's pretty much took that on. So now going to move on to funding options. So what if you can't get any grants, what can you get? So the main one that the government has released is a coronavirus business interruption loan scheme. A very long one. So basically that is a loan that varies from £5,000 all the way up to £5 million, which you can apply for. So this one is government backed through the business banking, and it is interest free now for the first 12 months to help you, so you can get that money in. You will also have to pay some of it back as you go, but there won't be any interest for the first 12 months. It's available from pretty much all lenders now. It's over 40, all major banks, they're all doing it. I do know there is a slight backlog on it because a lot of people have applied for it. Some lenders for like limited companies are saying a minimum loan of £25,000. So you might not want to obviously get a loan for £25,000 because then that's £25,000 of debt that you will have to pay back. But so if you want some advice on that, just contact us and we can weigh up the options for you and have a look how much it will cost you, if it's actually worth it, or we can look at some other loans for you as well. So we do have some some partners. We're partnered with a few different lending providers, so we can do these loans for you and apply it on your behalf. Basically we'll just ask you for a lot of information. We'll need all that first and then we can apply it, and then we'll see what they say basically. So you've got the standard loans from lenders. You can also just get a normal loan. Bank of England have put in a very low interest rate. I have seen a few lenders for the time, I guess some of them will do this, they have put their interest rates up, unfortunately. But again, we'd help you with that. Don't just go and pick the first one you see because you think, oh, brilliant, right, loan, because that could end up costing you a lot of money, because unfortunately some people like to profit out of people's issues, but we will try and help you with that as much as we can, as like the cost of borrowing. So we will help you determine how much it's going to cost you, where you'll be if you take this one, or if you take a different one, or if you don't take one at all. So, and also the speed. So the speed of that you're getting that loan. So sometimes on some loans you can get it the same day. You can apply in the morning, you can have it by afternoon. But some of these, currently the coronavirus business interruption loan, there is sometimes that it could take longer because there's so many people trying to get it, and the same with the normal loans, because I have had some emails from our partners saying that they are delayed a bit at the moment. So it's not potentially not going to be instant, but it'll be quicker than the grants. So but again, ask us and we can give you individual advice on that, and we can basically see what is best for you as a company. Okay, so that's pretty much all the funding options, like loan wise. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, you've got the universal credits, all those other stuff that you can then start to get personal funding. This is more aimed at the business funding, isn't it? Right, okay. Next thing I want to look at, so business strategy. Cool, so we are very happy to help you work out your strategy, see what is good for your business and see how we can work some stuff out with you. As I said, we are here for you. I hope you saw my video the other day. So we're here for you. We are going to try and help you through this as much as we can. So please just reach out if you want some extra help. I am concentrating, I think I've said before, that on all of this currently. So if you email somebody else, one of the other employees, they might most likely will just forward it to me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So I'm sure you can imagine it's quite hectic right now. But so we're going to try and help you with all these strategies. So quick wins, what can you get? So don't just bury your head in the sand. We need to now think, right, okay, it's a bad situation, but what can I do? How can I do this? So how can you get some quick wins? Okay, can you move your business online somehow? So if you've got a shop, can you move that online? Can you start selling online? I know some shops like Amazon, they are starting to limit what they're going to be selling, what they're going to be delivering, so that's something else we can look at. Can you do like we're doing now? We're doing virtual videos. So can you move that online? Do you offer some service that you can do one-to-one on people, do some groups like we're doing here. I've set this up on YouTube because it was easy to do and then anybody can join, but there's plenty of softwares out there where it's just one-on-one. So we've got Zoom's free for one-on-one meetings. You've got a webcam and you can just meet people. So can you somehow move onto that and get some quick wins that way? So basically people then can pay, if they can pay obviously, and just see what you can do. And with your processes, a bit like I was saying earlier with your cash flow, we can help you look at your processes, what you've got in place at the moment and what you had in place and what we can put in place for the future, basically, to help you move along. And you need to look at your short and long-term goals. Don't just look, oh, where is the end? We can't see it. Set yourself some weekly goals. Right, okay, I haven't had much time to do this now, but I've been wanting to do this bit for my business for the last however long. Say, right, I'm going to set that, I'm going to complete that now by the end of this week or the end of this month. So then you can scrape along and you can hit these goals and it'll just give you a bit of a boost. And basically, it won't be as daunting. You're thinking, oh, the end is so far potentially away. You know, it might not be. It might end in a month. But if you just start setting these small goals, I know we're doing some small stuff in internal. Like I'm setting some goals of what I want to do and how I want to move some stuff along. And like webinars, for example, that's something I've been thinking about doing for ages and sending out videos to clients. But I thought, don't have the time. I don't really want to do that. It's a bit scary. But I've set myself this goal, right, and I'm going to tell people, I've said, right, we're going to do this webinar, so now we're doing it. So that's sort of what you need to figure out and try and help yourselves that way. And just basically go from there, but just contact us and we can help you along with that. Okay, and lastly, so the support from us. So what are we doing for our clients? So obviously you're getting these regular email updates. We're emailing you pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day. Depends on what's coming out really, what the government is saying. So just keep an eye on them. If you're not getting them, please check your junk because it is a mail shot and sometimes they do get sent straight to your junk, unfortunately. They're coming from my email address, so they shouldn't, but they actually are going into my junk box. So Jack at Reeves & Co is going to Jack at Reeves & Co and it's going into my junk. So just double check. If you haven't heard from us, check that inbox, or check your junk inbox, sorry, just to see what's going on there. We're also going to start setting up weekly Zoom calls. So as I just mentioned, this Zoom, so I can have one-on-one. We can get on camera together and we can chat it out. We can talk. We can see what you want to do. So we've got one-to-one phone calls if you don't want to get on a video call. I've been trying to call as many clients as I can this week. So I don't know if you saw, but we've now got a brand new phone system in place, which I think it was up and running on Tuesday/Wednesday morning. So everybody now can answer the phone at home on their mobiles via an app. So it's all VoIP system, so we can transfer between us because we are all at home now. Our offices are shut, but everyone's up and running pretty much as they would be in the office. So also, as I said earlier, updates on our website. Check that page, reevesco.co.uk/coronavirus. I'm trying to keep that up to date. You might have seen recently we updated our website because we brought it in-house, so we can do updates literally whenever we want. So I'm trying to keep them going and up to date. So please check it on there. Bear with me. There may be a few spelling errors. It happens a lot, I'm afraid, with me. But normally I do send out the stuff to the team and they check it for me and we get it all gone from there. As I said earlier, I haven't put it on this slide for some reason, but the cash flow stuff we're going to start rolling out, hoping for Monday/Tuesday, so start next week. We'll go from there. I'll be contacting you, a brief or mail shot to say, look, if you want it, let us know. But one thing I did want to say as well, I'm going to add this to our website and on our emails as well, is beware of scams at the moment. Unfortunately, there are some people out there, as I said earlier, they're going to try and do this, but there's a lot of scams going around at the moment. The latest one was the government, I don't know if you saw, I can't remember what day it was on 2 days ago, so whatever that is, Wednesday. The government sent out a text basically saying, stay at home. So, but now there is a text scam going around from the government, supposedly, basically saying we've got these grants in place, so can you, go follow this link, so check that. The government won't just be emailing you saying, cool, we've got this done, put in your details, we're going to give you some money. If you get anything like that, please contact us and ask, because as soon as we know there's going to be grants available, we will be actively doing it for you, and then we're going to just put that out there. and we'll tell you. So the government currently have only sent one text, so if you had any more text, it's not from the government, okay? But please be careful of all the scams, because there is lots and lots going around, okay? Right, well, I think that's pretty much all the information off the top of my head that I can remember. So I will go to the questions and answers now. Let's move over here. I don't know if the team have smashed them in here. Right, okay, so right, so how do you pay the 80% for employees if you have no cash, and how long will you have to wait to have it paid back? That is a good question. So we have had quite a few people ask us about this. So the 80% for the employees, they're hoping to be paying out by end of April, which is quite a long time to go. So unfortunately, that's when it will be rebated back to you. I can't remember if I said earlier, but you can make a claim on the government website for the 8% every 3 weeks. So, because that's how long, that's the minimum furloughed worker can be furloughed, or for something, and then basically that's how that will work. But how do you pay if you don't have any cash? So this is a tough one. So as I said about the other funding options we've got, then we can look into those options for you to see what there is on that. So really that's currently the main options we've got for that, but I'll contact you after just to sort of see where we're at. So next one, as a director you may get wage 8%, but how to support company overheads with 0% issue? Yes, this is the issue. Yes, it is. So yeah, the 80% is so you should, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, they will announce that for the directors to get that 80%. That has to be used for wages, unfortunately. You cannot use that grant for anything else. You have to, even if as a director you don't actually pay yourself a wage, because a lot of directors don't, you're going to have to pay yourself that wage, because HMRC will do audits on this. They will check this. If they discover you haven't used the grants the way they're intended, you will most likely get fined and you will have to pay it back. So the company overheads, again, we're going to have to look at the other funding options that are for you and what else we can get, or look at what your current outgoings are and what ones of them can we get rid of, or what can we stop for now. That's what we're going to try and look at. Okay. No one can apprentices be furloughed? Yes, simple answer, done. Anybody can. So if you are an employee, you can be furloughed on the company. The first half, is it 3 consecutive weeks? Yes, unfortunately. So the staff has to be furloughed for a minimum of 3 weeks. After that, they can come back. To my knowledge, this is not fully confirmed from what I was reading, but they can then come back for a period of time and work if you require them to, and then be furloughed again. But they have to be done for a minimum of 3 weeks. And yes, it is consecutive on that one. Also self-employed on the tools. What can you claim? So you're a director of a small building firm, but also self-employed on the tools. So I'm not sure what it means. So if you're a director, then you will be classed as a director and won't be on the self-employed side of things. I don't know if you want to clarify that one. So that's how that one works. So yeah, if you are a director, unfortunately you won't be eligible for that self-employment grant, even though you do a tax return and you do submit and you pay self-assessment. It's based on trading income, that grant, the self-employed grant. I don't know if I said that earlier. And like dividends and stuff isn't classed as trading income. So that's how that one's going to work. As a director, contractor, work outside IR35, then inside IR35, then no work due to C19. Where does this fall? That is a fantastic question. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know the answer for that one, but I will star that here for me and I will check that, and I'll know who's sent it, so I will contact you about that. I'll check it for you, so I'm not sure. So imagine, right, so next one, year 1 made a loss, year 2 5k, year 3 5, so essentially amount is very small and again doesn't cover wage overheads. So I'm assuming that one is based on the self-employed. Let me just have a look. That's what I'm assuming. So I think think that's what that one probably means. So, sorry, I clicked on the wrong page. So with that one then, so yes, it is an average over for the self-employed grant. It's an average over the last 3 years. So, and you'll get 80% of your your net profit. So that's how that one will work. So again, yeah, it is unfortunate, it is small. So if you have made a loss, then we would have to look at other stuff for the self-employed, like the universal credits and all that sort of stuff, because they have lowered the income floor for universal credits for self-employed. So they've made it a quicker system now to get on, so you don't have to go to the job centre, for example, to have a face-to-face meeting. It's all online, and they have sped it up supposedly. But then the universal credit system was quite slow anyway, so speeding up for total isn't that fast really. So the scheme seems to favour the high earners. Yes and no, I guess, because it's capped at 50k profit. So if you make more than that, you won't get any. And also it's capped at £2,500 a month. So you won't be able to get any more than that. Obviously in this, if you are if you do have a low income, unfortunately, I think the government decided this is the fairest way, which it is fair. You're going to get 8% of your income, but you can get the 80%, and you can also be on the universal credit at the same time. So look at those and just check, see where they are. You take someone else as a wage and on dividends to top up. Yeah. So with the directors' wages and the dividends, so that's how it is for a lot of small businesses. You take the small salary and then you top it up with dividends. As I said a minute ago, dividends aren't traded income, so you're not on the self-employed. There's unconfirmed reports that directors are going to be included in the coronavirus job retention scheme, but it's still not confirmed. We're still not exactly sure how that will work, because currently it's only for furloughed workers. And as I said earlier, not sure how that will work, but as soon as we know any more about the directors, I'll let you know. There is a petition going as well at the moment, which I might be able to link later, send people to try and help the directors, because currently they're that small niche falling through the net. There's not much there for them, so fingers crossed they're actually going to release some more info for that. But if it's anything like self-employed, it might take a week or two. If you take on some temporary paid employment but intend to continue in self-employment once this crisis is over, will that impact the ability to claim the grant for self-employed? My initial thoughts might be no, but don't hold me to that. I will check that one. I will check that, because that was a good question. Because obviously there is a lot of jobs out there for temporary employment. I know pretty much every single supermarket is trying to employ people, because they've obviously got loads of people wanting to buy. So I will check that again. I'll star that just so I can see that later on. Are the government-backed loans available for self-employed or only to business? That is a good question, and I can answer that now. If you give me 2 seconds. So it says here, are you eligible? Your business is UK-based with turnover of no more than 45 million. Support small and medium-sized businesses. That's what they're saying. It doesn't say whether a business is a limited company or self-employed though, because a business is a wide term. But again, I will contact that back later on. So next one. I heard the banks are offering loans at their rates and not offering the government loan rates. Okay, so as I said earlier, some banks are actually putting on big interest rates, unfortunately. And there's not a lot we can do about that. All we would suggest, if you come to us to help you, we would help you shop around for a loan. The business interruption loan, if you go for that, they have to give you like 12 months free. But what they charge you interest rate after that, I guess it's down to them. Or if it shouldn't be really, but I can check on that one as well. If we're not keeping up with debt repayments, are our creditors going to be able to start enforcement action against us? Yes, I would assume. There's certain things that you can get away with, so like there's the mortgage holidays that you can apply for, so rent and stuff you may be able to get away with not paying. Again, talk to them. Most companies at the moment, if you contact them and talk to them though I would like to think they won't start trying to really enforce this down, because in my opinion that's not the way to go. They won't get anywhere with that. So hopefully not. What's my Zoom? I'll put my Zoom out later because it's not open currently. Would deferred payments affect future credit score? That's a cracking question. I don't know. Again, I'll look at that and I'll message you. Basically, these ones that I don't know the answers to, I will actually send out an email to everyone just to sort of confirm these. I'd like to think not, because it's a government incentive, so because it is actually a full deferment and it technically isn't then due until, so the July self-assessment payments aren't actually technically due to then January 2021, so you won't actually have so you won't have missed the payment deadline in effect, and same with the VAT ones, they have been pushed back, so I would like to think they wouldn't be. If you have more than one director, could you furlough the other two on the basis one stays to make the directors make the decisions? This is one thing I have been thinking about myself, but I want to check a few things about that, because each director is an office holder and they technically do have their own duties for the company, so I do want to see if it's possible for directors to furlough another director, because that would help out a lot of companies, so I will get back to that. You was informed that once employees furloughed, they cannot be furloughed again if they return to work. Okay, that could be an interesting one. So from what I read earlier, I thought it was 3 weeks and then they can come back and be furloughed again, but we will check that. You said you're going to check with someone, so if you let me know as well and I'll look at that, that'd be fantastic. So the last question I've got in here: will you advise us independently of what we're able to claim? I look at each client's business structure and work out which is best for each person/business. Yes, simple answer on that one. Yes, we will be, but as I'm sure you can understand, it's quite a lengthy process. I've got a spreadsheet going on at the moment. I'm just trying to update that, trying to figure out some stuff for everybody, and I will be in contact. It may not be, well, it's not mate, it won't be immediate, I will be honest, because there is a lot of information to bring up, but I will be contacting as many people as possible to help people as much as we can. As I said, I am solely working on the coronavirus now and how we can help our clients. So as soon as I've got that done, I will be contacting people. At the moment, we are concentrating on payroll because it is the end of the month, and there's a lot of uncertainties with the payroll. So we are trying to get that done first. So as soon as that's done, we can let you know. But yeah, that's pretty much on that. We will be helping everybody as much as we can, and please email. So okay. And also, Kim just sent me a message. So Ian Stewart, he said he's deferred his family payments and was told it would not affect his credit rating. There you go. So that's a good little snippet there. So as I said, contact these people. If you are paying a lease on a van every month, call them. Most of these lease companies are huge and they should be able to accommodate you deferring these kind of payments. So just as I said, contact them. Don't just cancel. Contact everybody that you would wish to stop any payments to, and go from there. I've also got a message from Andrew. He's saying self-employed income has to be at least 50%. Yes, so I did miss this one earlier. So with your profit, it has to be at least 50% of your income. So I believe that's what that one means, but I think that's what he's trying to say. So that's how that one would work. So I don't think there's any more questions. No. Okay. Well, I think I will leave it there then. Hopefully you've got something from this. As I said, it's the first one we've ever done, and I'll be honest, I was bricking it. And honestly, thank you to everyone that's joined in. Hope you've got to answer your question. If you haven't, as I said, I will contact you. And if this has been useful, we will do it again. Okay, we will do it again as soon, but with different updates, with when it's all coming out, or even if it's just to have a quick chat. So hopefully I'll see you soon, basically. So again, thank you everybody for attending. I hope you enjoyed it. There probably was a few hiccups there. I will have recorded this, so I will be uploading it to our YouTube channel if you want to have a look at it later on for any reason. Maybe you just want to look at my face again. Who knows? So anyway, thank you for joining. and we'll catch you next time.